bioelectricity. Wow. Gotta be honest, little jealous.
Hey, look, I got nothing on the OG. Think we should run tests tomorrow? A little voltage analysis?
Oh, man. Yeah, sorry. I've been meaning to tell you, I'm not gonna be around for the next few weeks.
Is some kind of pee joke I don't get?
No. MJ's headed overseas for the Bugle and requested me as her photographer. Kind of a working vacation for us.
Oh, man. Look, I don't know if I'm ready to fly solo. I screwed up today big time with the helicopter.
But then you delivered big time. You saved my bacon, Miles.
I got lucky.
Hey, I did this gig for 8 years without backup, and you better believe I screwed up lots of times. But that is how you learn.
What's this?
Christmas present. But first, you gotta take the oath.
Oh. Okay.
I promise to do everything in my power to protect this city.
I promise.
That's it.
That oath a real thing.
Totally. Definitely didn't just make it up. See you in a few weeks, Spider-Man. New York's only Spider-Man.
Everybody, Josh here, back at you today with a brand new and special product review. Today we're talking about this, which is Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, as you guys know, Miles Morales is a new iteration of the character Spider-Man. He is basically the newer version of the character that was introduced not even that long ago. He's kind of a controversial figure due to the fact that some people like Miles Morales, some people don't really like him as Spider-Man. And I personally really liked this game in the Insomniac Games Spider-Man universe. I thought this really did an improvement on the last game with the Peter Parker version of Spider-Man. They kind of got to see me do a review of the remastered version not even that long ago, and due to the fact that this came out like before the pandemic, I really love this game. I think that this game is fantastic in terms of what it does, in terms of giving us something new, fresh, and kind of upgrading the skills. The skill tree in this game is massive, including some of the different abilities that you get to unlock in terms of web slinging abilities, as well as different suit powers and things of that nature, along with different gizmos and gadgets that you get along the way to help Miles Morales fight crime as Spider-Man. So where does this video game pick off? Well, this is basically the continuation of the first Spider-Man game with Insomniac Games, and you are Miles Morales. You're going through New York City. You're hunting down the Rhino because he's just recently been released accidentally by Miles Morales himself in prison, and so Peter Parker is sent to try to take down the Rhino. There's this really cool cutscene that happens that takes place in a mall where you're kind of going around mall smashing things as the Rhino. There's a lot of really cool different characters that come into play into this due to the fact that Roxxon Energy Corporation is this massive mercenary military complex that is taken over New York City and Harlem. It's basically threatening a war between that and the Underground, which is Resistance Fighters mercenary unit that is also taking place as well. And you also get Finn, who is Miles Morales' girlfriend in this whole universe, his longtime friend, and they eventually kind of grow to have a romantic interest in each other. You have to balance being a civilian as Miles Morales while fighting crime as Miles Morales himself. I think that this game, in comparison to even the very first Spider-Man game, does a really good job of explaining who these characters are in this world in a shorter amount of time, and due to the fact that this game isn't even that long, you can easily get through this game in a couple of days compared to that of Marvel Spider-Man, where the first game as well as the second game are like 10 to 20 hours long, whereas this game you can easily get through in a couple of days, even with doing all of the different side quests as well as hunting down bases, kind of like the Fisk headquarters in the last Spider-Man game, and taking them out and taking out the bad guys that are within it, and have that be something that helps you upgrade your suits in the game as well as armor. There's also different suit upgrades, like I stated before, where Spider-Man gets different suit and web slinging abilities that you can kind of put in the skill tree. There's also different suits that you can unlock, as well as different collectibles that you can go around New York City trying to collect. There's different sightseeing tasks that you were sent to photograph and go around the city, really enjoying yourself as Spider-Man in this game. Spider-Man himself also has different parkour abilities in this game, even in the opening act of the game, where you can do different tricks and stuff when you're trying to, through the city as Spider-Man. The movement mechanics in this, while it does feel like Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, the combat mechanics as well as the parkour abilities that you are able to do while traversing New York City feels the same as Assassin's Creed as well. You're climbing buildings and scaling tall buildings to try and get a higher advantage point and then get a different view of the city as you walk it throughout the entirety of the game. The game itself allows for different customization options and customizing customize the suit to be whatever type of Miles Morales that you actually want, similar to that of Spider-Man 1 in terms of the Insomniac Games Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think that this game really does things differently to the point where this does feel like a completely different game. And I really do like Miles as a character. While he's not really as great as Peter Parker, I think that he as a character, while really annoying towards the very start of the game, where he's always constantly whining, giving these dialogue options that are a little bit whiny in terms of their nature, you grow to love Miles Morales over time. And I think that that is definitely the case with Miles Morales as a video game and as a character. And I think that some of the other characters that do come into play, whether that's Ben, who has a really cool character arc where she's leading Miles Morales through the underground, showing him the ropes of trying to become one of these resistance fighters, to actually realizing that what she's doing is wrong, and then eventually trying to take down Spider-Man, realize that maybe she's the villain of the story after all, to this new villain come into play where the Prowler's kind of hunting down the Tinkerer, who's basically the leader of the underground, and you got Roxxon, who appears at the beginning of the game, and you see this really cool cutscene take place between Miles Morales and one of the Roxxon leaders on top of a bridge, and you get this really cool, interesting cutscene that takes place where you don't really know who the main villain of the story is actually going to be, but it turns out to be Finn towards the end of the game as well. I really do like a lot of the cast and characters that are within this game. So many times in these superhero video games, it gets lost within the bombastic nature of superheroes as a genre in general, and I think that with Spider-Man Miles Morales, that doesn't come into play at all in terms of the story of this game. I really do like the fact hint at a future video game in the franchise with Peter Parker and Miles Morales kind of working together with that of the beginning of the game where you're hunting down the Rhino. There's different characters that come into play from Spider-Man lore, which is pretty cool to see. And it's basically a game that's giving you more of what you loved about Insomniac Games' first Spider-Man game, but also giving you something new in the process. And I really do like that a video game can give you something new that's also fun to play, and that is not ruining your experience similar to that of some of these other games that kind of come out that are broken, buggy messes. And I think that when Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales came out, there were some slight issues in terms of the gameplay and some slight glitches, and they were all fixed over time. I also really do like music options in this game. It's got a little bit of a hip-hop and rap feel, which is basically in correlation to what Miles Morales actually wants to do in terms of his life. He's trying to juggle being an average everyday citizen, going through high school and eventually college, trying to figure out what he wants to do in his life, which is basically something related to music. I can certainly agree with some of the stuff that he is going through within the context of this game. You also get the fact that he's struggling to deal with the fact that he's lost his father, the first game in the franchise, and his mother's also dealing with similar issues of her own, like how does she move on after someone that she's loved since basically the beginning kind of is taken away from her due to forces that are out of their control. And it's dealing with the fact that Miles has to become greater, and similar to that of the PlayStation model, and greatness awaits. And I think that that is definitely something that carries over in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I think that Insomniac Games, whether that's the Resistance franchise or any of the other franchises that they've helmed in the past, does a really good job in terms of the cutscenes in this game. They look fantastic. The movement mechanics, the gameplay looks really, really great and smooth, especially on the PlayStation 4 as well as the PlayStation 5. And I played this originally on the PlayStation 4 and then went back and played it on the PS5 version of the game as well. And there isn't really that much of a difference. It looks a little bit better on the PlayStation 5 version of the game, but even with that, I don't think that graphics are really something that is lost in terms of the PlayStation 4 version of the game compared to the PS5 upgrade that you do get for free. I think that this is one of those games that if you buy it once on the PlayStation 4 and you get a PlayStation 5 either for Christmas or someone just outright buys it for you, you're going to have a lot of fun replaying that game again, even though you've already beaten it before, because it is such a different experience compared to that of the first game in the Spider-Man franchise. Not to mention, while this is a spin-off game, it's also a little bit short, so it makes it a little bit more of a tighter experience. But that is basically just my thoughts over Spider-Man Miles Morales. I really did enjoy my time playing this game. I think the voice actors did a really good job. This game uses motion capture for, like I said before, a lot of the cutscenes that are in this game, as well as the gameplay and movement mechanics with the parkour, the web slinging abilities that you do get to upgrade over time like the first game. There's a lot of different suit mechanics that you can kind of get and upgrade over time as well as different suits. There's a lot of things to do and collect as well. So I think that this just gives you more of what you loved in the first game, and I really don't see any issues with people playing this and buying this for themselves, even at full price. So let me know in the comment section down below, did you guys like Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales? Did you guys hate it? Did you have issues with Miles Morales as a character? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales from Insomniac Games. And as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Get them far away. I can't hold this in much longer. What are you...
Just let go. Let go.
No, please. Miles. Oh, God. Say something.
Is everyone okay?
We're safe. All of us.
He's so young.
Hey, get out of here, kid. We'll take care of them.
Did you see his face?
You did good, Spider-Man.
Thanks.
Who is he?
That guy? He's our Spider-Man.